Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Kriaris. If you are an entrepreneur, a dreamer, a doer, then Be My Guest podcast is for you. Today, I'm sitting down with some very special friends of mine that have been almost like my guardian angels in the beverage alcohol industry. And I'd like you to click, subscribe, and follow what we're doing because this is the place where you're going to raise your game and raise a glass to success. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our podcast called Be My Guest with Steve Kriaris. I'm your host, Steve Kriaris, and today is a very special day and a very special podcast, mainly because I have four amazing gentlemen with me that have been friends, colleagues, partners for many, many years. I'm going to start from my right here. It's Fresh. Fresh, thank you for coming out today.
Thank you for
Matt
having me.
Mogul,
Thank you for having
Junior
me,
Jones, and last but not least, Olaf. Thank you for always being a supporter for everything we do. I'm going back now. This episode was in the creation back in 2010 is when it all began. I started bringing in a brand called Armand de Brignac Champagne, also known as Ace of Spades, when Jay-Z had it back at the time, and which is why I also have him here on the table today because this is a very familiar setting, and I'm sure we're all used to over the years of seeing bottles of Ace on ice or bottles of Bel Air on ice over the years, which is why I chose these for today. And yeah, we go back to 2010, and luck have it that getting into this industry is what got me to meet all of you over the years, and not only work together, have a friendship together, relationships together, break bread together and all that kind of stuff. So that said, I'm going to get going with the first bottle of Bel Air to start with. Olaf, if you can do the honors of passing out the glasses over there, we'll get this open and going.
Just pass it down. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Pass them down for us, boys. All right, everyone raise a glass. Do a toast. Cheers. Cheers to the last 15 years and cheers to the next 50 years. Cheers to all of you. Let's go. Well, you're young enough to hit another 50 years, that's for sure. Yeah, it's been a little while.
Been a while, right?
Oh, yeah?
It's been a while, yeah. We've had enough of these bottles over the years, that's for sure. I mean, where do we begin? Junior, what's your story?
Well,
What were you doing when we met? How's that?
yeah, so there was a event happening
Mm-hmm.
where one of my friends from Florida, DJ Nasty,
Yeah,
of We the Best, he's affiliated with DJ Khaled.
that's right.
He's the guy who produced All I Do Is Win,
Yeah.
Grammy Award winning producer. He was in town for a party, and it was actually Brandon.
Was this all that time nightclub?
Yes.
No,
it was
that
at, yeah,
time.
no,
The
not at
nighttime
time.
was that time. The daytime
Aria.
was at.
It was at
yeah.
Aria. Remember Aria across the street with the 3 levels. And so Brandon and Kadeem were doing that party. And, Brandon's brother Sean is my guy. And we're all cool with Nasty. So that's how we were kind of involved in the background. And we even had like Bel Air bottles at the hotel and everything. We brought them to the club. And so we were at the club and we're in the section and everything. And there was lots of Bel Air. There was a big bucket full of Bel Air. And I saw you standing there
I remember
around the Bel Air. And that's when I said, that must be the Bel Air guy, right?
I'm the least looking Bel Air guy on the planet, probably. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I,
At the time, yeah.
yeah, so I just went up and introduced myself. I said, hey, I'm Junior, kind of involved in the background with this party. Nice to meet you. We should connect sometime.
Absolutely.
And from there, everything was history.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then we've done multiple events together over the years.
Multiple events, many years. That was back in 2014.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
11 years now.
Didn't we do an event down at the other venue that had the outdoor patio with DJ Nasty outside? It's right down by the CNE. What's that place called now?
Music?
Music Nightclub. Thank you.
Yeah,
We were outside of music. He was DJing a party there. I remember that night too. That was
Oh,
during the
yes,
daytime,
yes,
actually.
yes,
So
yes,
we're there
yes,
for that.
yes, yes.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we've done many events at or there as well.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Fresh when we first meet.
I can't remember exactly when it was, but I remember it was through Matt. Matt was like, I think it was through Ace of Spades. I remember we were talking about Ace of Spades. I think it was like, I think they came up with like a green bottle or a rose
That's
or
right.
something.
That's right. That's
we
right.
were talking about it. I've always been around the spirit space myself. And I think I was asking you for it. I'm like, yo, can you get me one? He goes, yo, I just gotta call Steve. I got you. He's the plug. He's got it. I'm like, bro, let me just, whatever you can do, let me get it. Then I think we met at a couple events. You came to my store.
Yes.
Remember you brought us
Yes,
a couple
yes,
cases
yes,
of
yes.
Bel Air. I think you brought me.
I still have your top, by the way.
Pardon?
I still have one of your tops.
Nice.
Yeah. Just for the record.
And I think you brought me a couple bottles of Ace.
Yeah. I mean, those are the almost kind of like the bootleg days. I remember in the beginning when I started with Ace. It was 2010. No one was buying it, straight up. And I mean, no one, because nobody knew what it was. Nobody even believed it at the time, whatever. And Mickey was one of the first guys to start bringing it to Time nightclub. And I remember we were selling them like 2 bottles at a time, because 6 bottles at a time was like, it's crazy. It's gonna happen. And then literally the next day, he called me up. He goes, "I sold 2 bottles. Bring me the whole case." I said, "Okay." So bought him a whole case for the next weekend. If I'm not mistaken, it was Time. The big party was on Sundays.
Yeah.
Because Time on Sundays means no work on Mondays. I'll never forget that first night I went there when I heard the DJ say that.
Definitely no work on
There was definitely no work on Mondays, because the amount of champagne that we were drinking in those days was crazy, and those were some fun times. But and with the Ace, I remember, because it wasn't at the LCBO, so everyone would always be calling and saying, "Hey, how can I get into Spades?" Only you guys who knew where it was coming from were able to get it. So you'd be sending people, or you'd be coming yourselves to pick it up at our offices out in Etobicoke. And it was like literally doing a drug deal, man. Like, people were showing up with rolls of hundreds and saying, "I need a case of Ace." And I'm like, "Who are you?" "Matt sent me." "Oh, okay." Come to the back 1 second. And then they're just counting out the cash, dropping the cash, taking the bottles and running. And I'll never forget when we started with the Bel Air. I forgot the guy's name now. He used to do leather bags.
Light work.
Light work. He would come in and buy Bel Air in like insane quantities. And I'm like, "What are you doing so much Bel Air?" And he's like, "I'm selling it." I'm like, "How much?" He goes, "$100. I go, $100 a bottle? He goes, "Yeah." I go, "For just a bottle?" He goes, "No." He goes, "It's a spliff and a bottle of Bel Air for $100 delivered." I'm like, "This guy's my hero, man." So he would just buy them up, fill up his trunk, and just go around the city and just sort of. He's a hustler of all hustlers. Yes, man. Yes. That's for sure.
Shout out to Lightwork.
Yeah, shout out to Lightwork, totally. And a shout out to someone who's not with us today, which is World Order. God rest his soul. I mean, he was another big promoter and supporter as well at all his venues. He used to come in and prepay for stuff just to make sure that he got it first before anybody else did, kind of thing, right? So he was always on the cutting edge, and true gentleman. Every time I ran into him somewhere, he would always sit me down and say, "Come sit down, have a bottle with me before you go anywhere." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So, true gentleman, and he is definitely missed in the market out there, that's for sure. It's always good to have him around. Olaf,
Yes, sir.
where did we meet?
Indirectly,
Indirectly, okay.
Matt, before I even knew Matt, he had a
Okay.
party. I think it was the Bel Air 6. I don't know if you remember that party.
Oh my gosh.
You had to sign up online. I did the whole thing. I still have the thing, the picture. Because those times, I always tell Matt, I used to follow Matt stuff around a lot. Like,
We still
I
do.
loved what he did, And I think you were there, Steve. You're in the middle booth. You had some Ace and everything. So I'm just there taking in everything and seeing who's who. I'm like, okay, that's Matt. I only knew him online. So I'm like, all right, that's Matt. I'm like, who's the white guy? Like, because we're from Jamaica. So I don't speak like, he's European, he's Italian. We're just like, you, the white guy. I'm like, who's the white guy? He's there and he looks like he's orchestrating things. And then I see Matt go over to him and like, I'm like, okay, cool. Keep the picture in my mind. And then when the Bel Air thing came around, I couldn't get it in Toronto. So I was trying to get it from when I saw it in the States. So I had some friends, they reached out to some people at the head office and they put me and said, call Kolonaki Group, whatever it is, boom, 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 boom. Like, okay. I called in,
You
spoke
came
to
to the
Nikos.
office.
Yeah,
That's
spoke
right.
to
Spoke
Nikos.
to Nico when you came to the office.
And then I came to the office and then I met you directly.
That's right.
Right at the office.
I remember
and
I was
from
in the
that
back
day,
of the warehouse that day, and somebody comes to the back. It might have been Nico came to the back, and he goes to me, "Steve, are you expecting anyone?" I go, "No, why?" He goes, "There's a black guy in the front with an extension on his phone. He's taking video of himself in front of the place.
Yeah,
Bel
the
Air bottle
selfie
in the
stick,
back.
yeah.
The selfie stick." And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"What?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I don't know who this guy is. He's a little weird." I said, "Okay," and it was you, and that's how we met in the front.
Because they sent the email to you guys, and
That's
then
right.
I
That's
came
right. That's
through
right.
and
Right through with
from
the selfie
that
stick.
day, we.
I still have that picture, by the way.
directly.
So I want an autograph on that photo
Oh,
of you and the
alright,
selfie
I
stick in
got
the
you.
office. You were much younger in those days, that's for sure.
Yeah, I used to wear the hats, so
Yeah.
like every time.
Yeah. And Matt, when did we meet?
Wow. I don't know exactly where we
Were
you
we
remember?
together? What was that event? I forgot the girl's name who was the DJ. She did an event that was you had to sign up to get your name on the list.
That was the one.
That's how I
did it
met
with
you.
her. Yeah.
What was her name again?
Pills.
That's the one.
That's
No,
right.
Lisa.
This Monet. It was this Monet. That's right. And how did that work again? You had to sign up,
Yeah.
put your name on a list, and then you could only invite one person.
You can invite a certain amount. Of
One
something
person.
Like, yeah, one
Yeah.
person.
And then
One
that
person.
person can invite one
Yeah.
person, and then before you knew, at least one had an entirely full venue,
Yeah.
packed. And I'm like, if you only invite one person, how do you get 300 people in here? It was the craziest thing, but it was a fun party, that's for sure.
So
And then
we
that
met-
created
we
some
met
crazy
around-
buzz.
We met around that.
Yeah,
I remember like I remember me and you had a meeting at the Thompson,
that's right, over a bottle of bubbles
and
on the rooftop.
and you just asked me. But I think this was like watching everything I was doing, and it was kind of like, all right, let's sit down. Like, yo, what is this? What's happening? Break it all down for me. And
Yeah,
me
I-
and you just had a
Heart to heart.
yeah.
We
heart to
spent
heart,
like
and
almost
kinda-
3 hours or 30
yeah,
o'clock
yeah.
that night.
And then you just kind of gave me a lot of advice, still to this day, and we just kind of ran with it.
Hopefully you're still taking the advice.
I am still.
Well, I mean, you're growing and you're successful, so all the power to you. It's whatever.
But was that full blown Time nightclub, Bel Air Sundays times?
Time was actually Ace of Spades back then, because back in the days with Time nightclub, I remember that we used to have a guy named Dan Cabby.
Yep.
Dan, remember Dan?
I was just with him too.
There you go. So if you see him again, say hi for me. We didn't have light up shields back then in 2010. That stuff didn't exist yet, right? It had just come out with Ace and another brand, I think at the time, a couple years later. And so what Dan used to do to make noise is he would take the box and start clapping with the box in the middle of the air. And that's how he made all his noise at the venue and stuff when he was down there. So that said, that's how the whole Ace of Spades light up thing happened. And then a guy named Gucci was there as well. And then there was always the showdown from one table on one side, one table on the other side, and who was buying more Ace of Spades and stuff.
No, there was a lot of moments with heavy Ace, even when you said the green one. What was
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
What was the master?
The Masters, the golf
Masters
tournament, yeah,
golf tournament.
in the U.S., yeah.
Tristan Thompson just got drafted.
That's
He
right.
Did his NBA, welcome Toronto celebration party.
That's right. That's right.
We all went to dinner at Soto, and then we came to Time Sundays after that. And he's like, "Yo, we're doing all green,"
Oof.
and I was like, "Oh shit." I never did the green. That's never been in my hand before. I don't even know what that looks like.
In the beginning, it was just gold bottles, and then they introduced the rosé, and then the Blanc de Blanc, which is the silver bottle,
The green was
the platinum one, and then the green one was the most rare of them all. And everybody at some point was just going crazy to collect anything they could from the bottles, which was kind of an amazing time to watch all that. And it's been, watching the whole Ace of Spades thing unfold was quite amazing, because at one point, Ace became like and this is thanks to all of you, by the way, Ace became the 5th largest market for Ace in North America, which is a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're in Canada, we're in Toronto, you're comparing to cities like New York,
Right.
Las Vegas, LA, Miami, etc. And I think we can all agree, I mean, Junior touched upon this a while back, was that Ace kind of became like our own brand here in the market, because as Toronto was finding its way, finding its feet, trying to become, the city, make its own noise in the city and all that stuff, and become known. I think you guys all remember this many years ago. The thing that we grew up with in that scene was Ace of Spades at the time, you know what I mean? And that's kind of the brand that sort of propelled all of us into the hemisphere, what we're doing today. Because now you're looking at, there's Hennessy, there's, Veuve, there's Ace, there's Bel Air, there's all the champagnes. I mean, Cristal, Dom P, the Dom P light up bottles. Like, there's so much of stuff going on right now. And, Ace of Spades kind of propelled us right into that scene in a big way. Because it was also, like us, Ace was the underdog. It was the underdog brand in the market, and we are all underdogs. No one expected us to ever make something of a brand or anything like that, or even the parties you guys do. Like, some of the parties I go to, like 1,000 people show up. Like, these are not small numbers, right? These are massive numbers, right? So being the underdog brand and being us as underdogs, we all kind of ended up working together, which is, I think, what helped us pull it all off in order to make a success out of everything, And that's sort of stuff that I'm grateful for. But I think moving forward now, we're evolving. We're all evolving in our games. What are you doing now? What are you up to now? I'd love to hear your story while I just riff with a little bit of Ace in the meantime.
In consulting now.
Okay, good.
After being in retail for 12 years, having a store where we met.
Yes.
GFC.
Yep, Get Fresh Company.
Yeah, Fresh Company. That's
I
right.
actually
Yeah.
started consulting for Louis Trez.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah. So I consult for Louis Trez in the U.S.,
Nice.
which has been great. Private client consultant.
Fantastic.
And, still doing the events.
So you're down in the U.S. as well, then.
I live in Toronto, but I'm over there.
Good.
There all the time.
Very
I
good.
work there. I just live here. I work there.
It's okay. You
And,
getting paid in USD?
It's a good situation.
Just double checking getting paid in USD. That's for sure.
And
Pass it
no,
around
it's
for
been
us.
good. And then
Thank you.
now working on my own project as well.
Good. Excellent. Well, needless to say, whatever your new project is, whatever help you need, I'm a DM away.
It's in your world. That's why
It's in my world. Okay. Well, I'm a DM away. You know that already. So whatever you need, we're here. And congrats on whatever it is you're working on.
Thank
I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you.
Olaf,
Sir.
tell me where you're at today. Other than being happily in love, that I know for sure. I can see you're like Lance Romance when you're out there, coming to the venues.
Been taking it easy, venturing in some different industries.
Good.
Mainly transportation,
Nice.
and still doing the events. More collaborations, like with Matt, and we're supposed to have some stuff going with us three, me, Matt Jr. But we're still ironing out the wrinkles, of the collaboration, because I think, it's like a generational collaboration that I don't think nobody else in the industry can have.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm like the fresh young guy in the industry. Don't watch my age, but based on experience, and people that I looked up to, now I'm able to work with them. Like that is definitely something that's very rare in the industry. So that, and also a few of my own little event stuff that I normally do. I'm working on getting back on track with that. But just been taking a little back
Of course,
step,
of course.
watching the scene. I said earlier before we got on air, that was advice given to me by Junior. Like, when things was getting really saturated, and I was like, should I pierce it more, or should I just, and he's like, sometimes you just gotta step back and let everybody do their thing and do their number, and
Of course,
you
of
know,
course, yeah.
you recalibrate everything, regroup, and hit it again when the time is right. So I've been doing that, what he said, following that advice.
That's great to hear. Well, speaking of the industry, though, can you guys give me some feedback on how the industry has changed over the years? From where you were when you started, underage. I know you were underage at one of the clubs.
Yeah, I did.
I remember those days, yeah.
It's good times.
Yeah.
I feel like it's less like it used to be like a crazy hustle where you know what I mean, you'd be doing like 50 million things to like kind of get to one objective.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, obviously it comes with experience, but
Yeah.
You're able to just make smarter moves, put the right people together. You know what I mean? Just work kind of smarter, not harder.
Absolutely,
So-
yeah.
I like where it is now, and I like where it is for me, personally.
Which is important.
Which is important.
Which is important.
So
You have to agree with him. I think there's a lot more quality of events
Yeah.
out there. It's more event driven, more than club driven. So
Yes.
back in the day, there would be like weeklies,
Yeah.
time on Sunday.
That's
You
right.
know, you go every Sunday, that kind of thing. Now, I find it's more event driven. They're more spaced out. So maybe every month that you might go to a particular party, or once every 3 months, or once a year even. I think people will respond well to that kind of thing as well.
I think we can agree that day parties have picked up a lot lately.
100%.
Day drinking, day parties picked up a lot, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Still consuming a lot of alcohol, but people want to be home by 9, 10 o'clock sort
That's
of thing
right.
and in bed, which has happened. Whereas in the past, like say 10 years ago, being out at night till 3, 4 in the morning was normal. Like any single night that you went out sort of thing, right? And King Street in those days was an insane place to be for Toronto. So I know the industry has evolved a lot. Bottle service has evolved a lot as well. It's not as easy as it used to be, whereas in the past it would just, burn through cash that goes crazy and the popping bottles and stuff. Now there's a little more quality aspect to what we're doing and the scene that's out there, which is not a bad thing, to be honest, because it's now quality over quantity. In the past, it was just about, this guy ordered 5 bottles of Bel Air. Yeah, he's going to order
Right.
10 bottles of Bel Air. Yeah, he's going to order 15 bottles of
Yeah.
Bel Air. no rhyme or reason, just to trump the guy next to you, sort of thing. Like, we
Yeah.
couldn't drink all the champagne if we were really honest with ourselves, right? It was more champagne than we could ever handle. So at one point, I remember we were somewhere with a lot of bottles, and you just started handing out bottles to everybody because we're like, guy, we're not gonna drink this tonight. It's 2 a.m. Just hand them out and get them out of here. So we're like, okay, good. Just start handing them out to everybody, right? And then there was the stupid crazes where everybody was pouring champagne on their watches. Remember those days? Just trying to show how much money they could burn, which is a little crazy in that world. But
They would stack the watches.
stack of watches on the Ace bottles. That's right.
I have a photo from that for my birthday in New York. At Mr. Child's in the basement. The one in the cellar.
Wow.
There's been a lot more. The city was started traveling more. Just like
Yes, we have.
not just the people that are used to traveling, but like people would just take the opportunity to go somewhere and experience a day party in a different city, and then come home and when it's finally developed that we can entertain ourselves the same way.
Of course.
We kind of just adapt. We used to go to Time Sundays and not even ask each other if we ate dinner. So now it's like day parties, just dining experiences are a big thing now. You know what I mean? The club's still a big thing now too. It's like, I like that it's spread out rather than just.
I think the supper club movement, the supper club vibe is also pretty big now too. It's been around for a long time. Obviously, from the days of Buonanotte in Montreal, the supper club things were happening. F1 in Montreal back in those days too was also very popular. Because Montreal's always been a leader in the nightlife scene as well. Who are we kidding? But then in the last decade or so, Toronto's just taken off like a rocket ship and sort of, owned its position in the country for that matter, and in North America for that matter, and it's been an awesome ride all along. Let me do a quick little toast to all of you
I
guys.
feel like it shifted though, right? So I feel like, cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
You were saying?
I just feel that there was this oversaturation of events, like what you were saying, and people like it went from this like amazing community that you were creating to like, what can we do to make the business better? And I feel like once we got to the place of what to do to make the business better, is when everything started getting more diluted, and it started to fall. And then you have the leaders like yourselves who came in and was like, all right, we're not going to care about what to do to make the actual business better. We're going to do what it takes to make the people happier and create a better space in a better environment, and just focus on the happiness and the memories created for the people attending these events. And I think that's why you're seeing it be more of like a niche, come back to like this niche marketplace, in this micro marketplace, and things going to like, the beautiful restaurants now, because it's just like, it was too overdone. It was too oversaturated. It felt too like business. You walk in, get a table here. You have 2 bottles. You haven't bought a bottle in the last 30 minutes. We got to move you. We're selling this table. It was no longer experience. It was just like,
oh man,
business.
it was just business.
Yeah,
and it was just like, I didn't come here to feel like a customer.
You want to feel welcome.
I can
you're
drink
just a number, a
this
dollar sign.
$1,000
Who had the bigger
bottle
rolls,
for $300 in my
Somewhere-
living room.
Exactly.
I don't need to be here. And I think
100%.
we entered this space of you got the people who just got in the business for the greed, and they looked at the spreadsheets and understood like, oh wow, there's a profit here. Let's get in the game.
Absolutely.
But didn't understand the business of people, of making people happy, of creating memories, of, like, there's moments that we've all met each other, I think, in nightlife.
Of course,
and
multiple
it's like,
times,
as you said, you went over, it's like you have these memories of where you met people. And I remember like in like Time Sunday, like literally changed the city, changed my life. Lost and Found Mondays, like 400 Club, like there's so many beautiful events that, people are married to this day or have kids to this day or best friends from this day because of these
Yeah,
events.
no, 100%. Yeah,
And like that's what it's about. So I think that everything is shifting back to that. That's where we're at now.
It's long over. I think it's long overdue, to be honest. There's a lot of abuse of the clientele, I think, in many ways, where we just were a number. And I remember one night we were at Lost downstairs, and I think it was with you that night, or with you. I can't remember who I was with that night, anyways. But I just remember that there was 3 tables on the left and 1 table on the right that had the hottest bottle service girls, and because the guy spent the most amount of money. Everybody else was just buying 1 bottle of Grey Goose or 1 bottle of Veuve or whatever else. Had the mediocre bottle service girls, and the 3 or 4 smoke shows were always the hottest tables. And then I just looked at it from behind and thought, you know what, this is all just one big super duper way of just milking the system, milking the people, getting them what they want, which is what everybody was paying for, right, at that time, and then moving forward. But going back to the comment you said about how people would, you have a 300 bottle of Ace at home versus having $1,000 at the club, plus, plus, plus. I'll never forget when the pandemic hit in 2020. And the crazy part was, everything closed. No restaurants, no bars, no clubs. So our life changed forever. We can never look back and say that it'll ever be the same because it won't be the same. Yeah. And I remember sitting at home thinking, what the hell am I going to do now? What the hell am I going to do now? What the hell am I going to do now? So being a natural entrepreneur, at heart, my goal was to just go out there, hustle, do what I got to do, make it happen the best I can. So we're delivering wines and spirits and champagne to people's homes or whatever. And then I remember about a month or two into the lockdown, I get a report from the LCBO for the sales of Bel Air. And right when I thought Bel Air couldn't get any more popular than it already was, the numbers were up like 11% in 1 month. I'm like, how's that possible? Who's buying all the champagne? Then I realized, well, it's $40 a bottle at the LCBO, not 200 plus at the venues.
Right.
Yeah.
So as I was talking to people, they're all saying, yeah, I just go to the LCBO and buy a case of 6
Yeah.
for $200 and then go home and drink it all weekend with my friends.
Yeah.
And then that became one person, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. And before you knew it, by like 2022, we were having our best years in history with Bel Air. Like we were selling probably 80% more volume, by volume, of course, than we were when it was all available to nightclubs. It was a crazy number, and
With less marketing dollars.
with less marketing
Higher
dollars,
margin.
Bel Air taught me like the marketing of like spirits because, like you said, at time it wasn't selling.
Correct.
And I remember 1 week, Mickey was like, "Yo, all the comp bottles are gonna be Bel Air," and all the hosts and promoters on the night were like, "No." You know what I mean? Like, I drink Hennessy or I drink Grey Goose or whatever it is. And I was already into it, through Rick Ross and social media and stuff like that. So I was kind of tapped into what he was building, the Bel Air boys and stuff. So I was like, yo, everybody give it to me if you don't want it. I'll take it. So I remember that night I had like 6, 7 in the bucket.
Of course.
And that was the first time, I had the 6, 7 bottles in one bucket. It doesn't matter what it is. 6, 7 bottles.
You're flexing.
So I just started handing them.
You're shooting.
Takes pictures.
You're punching above your weight. It's a great look. You're
It's
flexing
very-
at the club. You know what I mean?
I started taking pictures. I started making people take pictures of it because I knew
Of
what it
course,
was.
of course.
And I knew who to tag if I posted this.
Yeah,
stuff.
because you were about a year or two ahead of the curve
Yeah.
on the Bel Air and stuff, right? And I mean, kudos to Mickey as well, because I hope to have on the podcast too one day, because Mickey was also ahead of the game, right? He took a chance on me with Ace when I first started by putting in the venue and trying to see how it would work and stuff. And then, his bestie Alex, God rest his soul too, became a big promoter as well of the brand with him. So that helped kind of push the envelope for everything we're doing. Look back now and it's been a wild ride, needless to say, And the liquor industry, as we'll call it, has been one that's been great to all of us in many ways. And more importantly, it's brought a lot of friends together, which I'm most excited about, And I'm excited about where you guys are all going and what you're doing right now, because I can see you've all matured. We've all matured for that matter. And we're all doing new things, better things, smarter things, as you said, work smarter, not harder sort of thing, right? And that's the main thing for all of us. And it's been a good time, and I want to be part of your journey moving forward, right? It's one thing to be together while I'm trying to do something. I want to be part of your journey, whatever it is you guys are doing at all times, right? Like we recently started a whole a wine series called Greek Wine Week, and we did it 2 Octobers in a row. It's coming up again probably this October. And Olaf, I think you're on like 3 of our events or whatever in a matter of a week and stuff. So, thanks for the support, because it's a continuation of what we're doing, right? And so you're right. Doing these restaurant events has seemed to have really become a big thing for us, where people are coming out and they're sold out every night, which is amazing, right? It's a big chance for people to get out and explore different products, explore different ways of, drinking, eating, dining, meeting new people in different environments too, right? Which is kind of cool, and that sort of stuff. But either way, I want to say thank you to all of you for coming today. It's been a pleasure to have you in my life, for that matter, not just here today. And pleasure to watch you guys grow, your families grow. When I met you, you were just a young kid, and now today you're a dad, and happily married, living your life and stuff. So it's a big thing. And I know, Jenny, you've got 2 older kids already, so you're grooving. You guys are up next. Is that what's happening? All right.
Near future.
Near future. All right. That's what I like to hear. Keep practicing. Practice makes perfect, just so you know.
Yeah. No,
That's what they
perfect practice makes perfect.
Perfect. Practice makes perfect. Okay. Fair enough. That's good. But again, thank you all. One more toast for everybody today. Thank you for being here.
Cheers.
Fresh, I know you're an addition to the group. I'm so happy you came in today. Thank you. Cheers to that.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you all.
always gonna work like that.
It's
Pleasure.
the best way, bro.
And Fresh is always
We
very
always
punctual.
flow.
So when he was like, yo, he said 2:30, I'm here, and I was like, well, just go in.
He was on time. I like, of course. It's all good.
Yeah, man.
Always.
Guys, thank you so much.
That's
Thank
great.
you. Thank you, Fresh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. And I wish you luck with whatever you're doing. I'm here to help you out, whatever I can.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.